Last but not least, I would like to show you how to create masks in InDesign. Now here it will be a little bit different to Illustrator and Photoshop, because we will create frames that will work as masks. Let me show you how it works. So as you can see here, I already have an image placed into an InDesign document, and it has a frame, and inside the frame there is the image itself. If I use the selection tool and I make the frame different, I basically crop the image. So I can create like a portrait format like that. And then if I want to move the image inside the frame, I can click on this icon here. If I click and hold onto it, I can see the edges of the image, and I can move the image around. Once I let go, I have a different area of the image visible inside the frame. So once again, I click here and hold a little bit just to see the preview, and I can drag it around and I can place it into a different part. I can also click on this icon, and if I hold Command and Shift down together, I can resize without messing up the proportions of the image, so I can have a larger view of the castle here in the middle. So now I resized the content but kept the frame the same size. I can do the same thing with the frame, but then the whole content together with the frame will be resized. So Command, Shift, Resize, and as you can see, just as I said, the image will increase in size together with the frame. So if you think about masking in Photoshop and would like to compare it to InDesign, InDesign's frame is the mask, and the image inside it is the image itself. So if you want to think about black and white, white is whatever inside the frame and black is whatever outside the frame. So white will show, black will hide. Very similar concept, but here we work with frames. Let me show you if I place a new image, how does it work. So I go to Bridge first of all, and I am going to drag and drop an image into InDesign. With Command Tab or Alt Tab on PC, I switch between the applications, and when I let go in InDesign the image, it will give me the place option, so I can click and drag to place the image inside the document. With this I already created a frame, or we can also call it a mask, which we again can change around to create like a panoramic view on this image, and so on and so forth. What we can also do is add rounded corners on the mask by clicking on this yellow icon here, and then click on one of the corner points and drag them around. That will add this nice rounded corner effect. Still, I can also edit the frame itself and show more of the image. And there is a useful shortcut. If you double click on any of these control points, it will snap to the original edges of the image. So for example, if I concentrate on this part of the image, but then I change my mind and I double click on this corner point, it will snap back to the original size. If I prepare an ellipse, let me just draw an ellipse. So I just use the ellipse tool and draw an ellipse. And then I go to Bridge and drag and drop another image, let's just say this one, into this frame, which I already created. Then that will be my frame. So the circle itself will serve as a frame, and I can always make the image itself smaller. It is huge at the moment. Click on this icon here on the top, fill frame proportionally. If you want to learn more about images in InDesign, I have a separate course for learning all the techniques that you need to know. But in the next video, I'm going to show you another way of using InDesign for masking, and it will be a little bit more similar to clipping masks in Photoshop or in Illustrator.